Okay, let's talk about the dreaded arthritis monster. As we get older, everything starts to hurt, and especially if you live in a place where the weather is cold and wet or big storms come in. So you get up in the morning and it's like you're just afraid to move because literally everything aches, and if you move this way it hurts, and if you move that way it hurts worse. So what I try to do, first of all, is to just be with the pain. And then you remember Romper Room, Miss Janie? We had Miss Janie. I think that depending on where you're at, you had a different Miss Betty or Miss Nancy or whatever. But we had Miss Janie. And who knew that Miss Janie was a yoga master? And do you remember her magic mirror? Yeah. So she would ask Mr. Music to begin this tune of bend and stretch, reach for the stars, stand on tippy toes. Remember that? Well, that's good advice, it turns out, because that's just a basic move you can do to get yourself moving when you have one of those arthritis monster mornings. So yeah, it's just bend and stretch, reach for the sky, stand on tippy toes way up high. Reach for the sky, stand on tippy toes way up high. And just that simple bend and stretch, reach for the sky, stand on tippy toes way up high, gives you an initial beginning stretch through all that arthritis monster pain. And then, if you can, try to get warm, even if you just like rub your shoulders and your arms, wherever it hurts, just, you know, get yourself warm. Put on some heavier clothes if you can. If you can take a hot bath, that's great too. But mostly, you just want to get the circulation going. And that's really the key to these pains as we get older, is to, first of all, not stress out over it, and then to just sort of work through it a little bit. You don't want to do too much, you know, you don't want to make it worse. But just to stretch through it just a little bit. And then you can defeat the arthritis monster. Now, some people, when they wake up in the morning and they're hurting like that and it just won't go away, and you know you can't move and you're really stiff, they go to the doctor. And usually the doctor will prescribe prednisone, Satan's Tic Tacs, and you feel just great. You feel like a teenager and just gives you all this energy. But of course those have very serious side effects. And now that we have medical marijuana, which to anybody who was a teenager in the 60s has got to find amusing. People are using that as well to deal with the pain. But that too has a side effect in that you're stoned all the time. And some people think that's a plus. But if you don't want to be stoned all the time and you don't want to have the side effects of things like prednisone, then you have to try to move a little bit and work through some of the pain and stiffness. But you don't have to do anything. Well, you don't have to do anything, of course, but you can sit around and smoke weed all day long. It's totally fine. But if you want to try to get through some of the arthritis pain, you can do it just by doing some simple stretching, moving, gentle movements. Remember Miss Janie. When you're hurting like that, remember Romper Room. In those television shows were a deep philosophy of bending and stretching, magic mirrors, and Mr. Music. And then another thing people do when they're in a lot of pain is that they seek counseling. There is such a thing as pain management counseling. And basically what they're going to show you is just another form of meditation, which is to accept the pain on some level. It's not going to go away. You have gotten older. I sometimes think that there's like this great wave of consciousness that happens in your 60s, and it just travels through society. And there's people who hit a certain point in their 60s where they're like, oh, I'm in my 60s. It's like this awareness, you know, and it just travels through, and it's like, how did this happen to me? And, you know, there's just this moment that everybody has. So yeah, first of all, you have to accept that you've gotten older. And so here we are. We never thought it was going to happen. We never thought we were going to live past 30 years old, and we wanted to anyway. But here we are, we're in our 60s. And so that's a good first step. And then the second one is to just stop tensing up every time you hurt. You know, there's that old joke that if I felt like this when I was 18, I would have checked into the emergency room. However, you're going to feel like this every day. So a little bit of stretching and meditation can ease some of that pain. It can also be a form of counseling for yourself, that you are in this place in life, that you are in your 60s, that your body is hurting, and that's just the way it is. So this option is there to help you out. It's not going to fix it, it's not going to cure it. There is no cure for life, but it can in fact make you feel a little more okay with your body, you know, okay with some of the pain going on, so that you're not walking around, what is happening to me? Make it stop, make it stop. You know, it's okay to just chill out, get mellow, and you know, and there's all these drugs out there to help you get mellow, but you don't have to run to those as a first option. You do have control over your body and how you move. Okay, so one more time. Here's to Miss Janie from Romper Room, or whoever your miss was. Bend and stretch, reach for the sky, stand on tippy toes way up high. To Mr. Music. So, why did they give old men Viagra in nursing homes? So they don't roll out of bed.